it's Paul Ryan from Ryan Tunes. When I started back into music and songwriting specifically, I had a million questions. How do you do lyrics? How do you rhyme? How do you connect the lyrics with the music? What kind of music should you use with different kinds of lyrics and so forth? Seem to be never ending. Now there's a lot of information, good information, available online with regard to songwriting. There's books. I bought a few. But there was no starting point for me. It was like a maze. It's kind of like you enter here and you learn this and then you forget that and then you enter somewhere else. I need context. So what I did was I looked back in history at music and then songwriting, and to try to find out if I work today in the area, what can history tell me? So what I'd like to do right now is just play you a very simple song that I learned in my travels, and I'll talk about it afterwards. And it went on for a little while, fairly simple. But that song is the very, very first song known to mankind, very first music known to mankind. Point is, it had form, had notes, same notes that we use today. And if you stretched it out, you could probably use a minor key, because in that they used a lira or a lyre, which I think was an 8-stringed instrument, 4 double coursed or something. I can't remember. I've seen pictures of them, but basically it was a stringed instrument they played it on, and that was the melody. So it had melody, it used notes that we're familiar with, it had some form, no lyrics, but when you think about it, it's over 3,000 years old. What I'd like to do now is move towards the first ever known to mankind music with lyrics. So basically the very first songwriting. Now this dates back to 200 BC, so it's 1,200 years after that little melody I just played. And it was someone named Sikelos in ancient Egypt, and he wrote a love song for his deceased wife.
O sun sings
Sikelos epitaph, and now that one had lyrics, and both of those songs had some form. It had notes that we're familiar with, which are now we call scales and notes. So there's a lot of similarity from 3,000 years ago to what we're using today. Obviously, there's a lot of contemporary issues that you still need to know, and I dug into that. We'll get into that in some of the future sessions. But basically, both of those combined creativity with some kind of form or boundaries. So the next step in my little process was to understand a little bit more about those boundaries. What were they? Did they apply only to the music or both to lyrics and music? So in the next session, I'll cover that. Thanks for watching.